Let's get into it. Soul Not For Sale podcast. Coach Colin here. I'm still standing up. We got Joe Rogan today talking, mocking Alec Baldwin. And you guys know, I love JRE content. And if Joe's going to mock him today, guess what? I am too. Let's go into it. We're going to play a clip here where he showcases a little bit of what Alec Baldwin's going through. It's a little bit like what Will Smith and Jada are going through. Just straight up humiliation at the hands of your wife. Couldn't imagine anything worse than this. So glad I'm not in a marriage like this. This woman is the exact reason why there's so many of you out there that are like, I'm not even trying. I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going for it. Nothing. But let me play the clip and then we're going to get into it. And then I go a step further and we figure out exactly why Alec Baldwin is like this. And it's not just his TDS. There's more to it. Let's get into it.
People will offer their questions electronically on this platform called Slido, which is a very good platform for such things. And then they could upvote the questions, and then Tammy would sort them and ask me questions kind of from the top down that were thematically relevant to the lecture that I had given. But we found very quickly that people really liked that because they hadn't seen a couple engage in civilized discussion ever. Seriously. Like
yeah,
it was
there's a lot of that out there.
It was really shocking, Joe. Like, you know, I was shocked when I first started touring by how demoralized people were. Like that was really striking and painful to see that on such a mass scale. And then also to see how little encouragement it took to have a really major effect. I mean, there's a positive aspect to that too, but there's also a tragic aspect. It's like, you mean you just need to have some encouragement and that was enough and you never got that, like even once? That's rough when you see that in thousands of people.
Right.
And it was the same thing. We found it was the same thing with regards to seeing a functional couple, at least even that model. Because, you know, Tammy asked me questions and she thinks about the questions and then sometimes she comments, but not that much. But she actually listens to the answers and she wants to hear the answer. And so, and that dynamic is being played out on stage and people found that very heartening. And well, that shows you, well, you said, you know, yourself, and this is why I brought it up, because you had the example from your stepfather and your mom of this long-term relationship that worked. I mean, how the hell do you orient yourself if you haven't seen that anywhere?
Right. And then you consider relationships just like all the bad ones and like you're going to be burdened and locked into that. Did you ever see that video where Alec Baldwin and his wife are on the red carpet and they're being interviewed and they're asking them questions and the wife starts talking and Alex chimes in about something and she said, "You're not talking, I'm talking. When I'm talking, you're not talking." On camera. Mm-hmm. And you watch this, you're like, yo, that's what everyone's scared of.
Right.
That's
what definitely.
You want to talk
competition.
About like tyranny. Mm-hmm. The tyranny of being trapped in a relationship like that is like, ugh. And sometimes one person is so overbearing that the other person just sort of submits to it, right? And then you're just like, I don't want to fight. I don't want to deal with this. I don't want to deal with this. And so then you're just trapped and this person's insulting you and humiliating you publicly. That was the case with Phil Hartman. I got to see that. We would all go, like we went to a party once and I remember she was talking about ex-boyfriends that she loves pickup trucks because her ex-boyfriends had pickup trucks and they would climb into the back of these pickup trucks and I was like, what the fuck? But she was doing it on purpose to like make him squirm and make him uncomfortable. And she would say things like talk about how he's old. Oh, he's old. He doesn't, he doesn't like to do anything. It was just public humiliation in front of friends where you're in this like arena where he can't say anything. Yeah. He can't just go, what the fuck are you talking about? Like, why are you talking to me like that? Mm-hmm. Like, why are we doing this? He can't do that because he's public and he's out with us.
Maybe he should do it anyways.
Probably should do it anyways.
Yeah, probably.
But we're all out and, Phil was all about like appearances. How things looked. One of the things that he was afraid of with getting married was that he was just starting to break into films and a lot of the films that he was doing were very like family-friendly films and it helped that he was a family man. If he was
right, so he had an act he had to sustain too.
He had an image, right? And this was critical in Hollywood. Like they had ideas of who you were. Okay, you're a family man. Okay, good. And so if you have this radical change in your life where no longer you're a family man. And if you want to be honest about it and you want to say, I was in a toxic relationship and some of it was me and some of it was her and this is what happened, like, whoa, now you're opening up the world to this big can of worms. Better to keep that can sealed.
Yeah, well, it's generally.
Nah, should have told her out. Should have. Phil, I mean, rest in peace to Phil. But imagine if this guy told off his wife. A lot of you guys don't remember. You're too young to know about Phil Hartman. But imagine he told off his wife. Just F-bombs and you better relax, and it's all caught on camera. He straightens her out. Next thing you know, Phil Hartman could have been in the next Die Hard movie. I mean, that's how far back Phil Hartman goes. I mean, Die Hard was still pumping out. You know what I mean? He could have been there. Could have been an action star or something. Sometimes you gotta just let what happens to you in life kind of help push your career in certain directions. You know what I mean? Joe Rogan watches people eat scorpions. The next thing you know, Fear Factor guy, UFC, you just gotta let life go. You can't just, I'm not gonna use the word, but you don't want to be one of those guys that, is making breakfast for your wife's boyfriend. You know what I mean?
Really better not to have your fights in public, and it's certainly better. I've been thinking about this commandment to honor your mother and father, and I've been thinking about what that means. I read this book called Angela's Ashes by Frank McCourt, and Frank had a really alcoholic father, like an Irish alcoholic father back in the 40s. Oh yeah, and he drank every cent the family had, and they lived in terrible poverty.
Wow,
and his sister died, and it was rough. But he said his father was often sober in the morning, and he established a relationship with good morning sober father, and kind of put alcoholic, drunken, nighttime father in a different bin, and he could get the benefit of having a father in consequence of that. And that honoring, that's also something that you want to do within a marriage, right? Because your wife is your friend and your lover, but she's also your wife, and you're her husband, and that means that a part of keeping that marriage working is honor. And part of the honor is that you don't do that sort of thing in public.
Right. You don't humiliate each other.
And
you don't fight in public.
Well, that's also in some ways independent. In a way, it's independent of who your wife or husband is. It's like, you could imagine two people fighting in public and one of them or both of them really deserving to have that fight as people. But then to keep the marriage intact, you have to remember, well, this is my wife. She's not just my friend. She's not just someone I know. She's my wife. And we shouldn't be doing primate dominance hierarchy maneuvering in public. We shouldn't be competing for power, because that's going to destroy the marriage.
Yeah.
And so that's part of that honoring, I think, is to remember the role and to keep it, sacred is really right, sacrosanct.
Here's another one. Don't ever insult each other, even though you want to. You want to be mean sometimes. People get mean to you, you want to be mean back. I don't do that with my friends, so I don't do that with anyone else. I don't want to do that. That's why I don't do it online. I don't get involved in these hissy pissy fits online, particularly on Twitter. I just don't think
the prime place for such things.
That's all it is. First of all, again, as someone who looks at everyone like a child or like a baby, I'm not angry that people do that. I understand the appeal of it. If I was 15 and Twitter was around, I would be tweeting at every fucking celebrity saying, you're a loser, jump in front of a bus. I would say things just to try to get a reaction out of them. I think a lot of kids do. I think a lot of people don't feel like they have a voice, and one way to be heard is to be insulting, and one way to hurt is to be negative. If you look at the majority of discourse on social media in regards to hot button issues, it's disrespectful. It's contentious. It's and insulting. And I've decided, over time in my life, to not do that. I don't want to do that. I'm not interested. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in that kind of conflict. I see real conflict all the time as an MMA commentator. I see the most violent legal conflict other than war all the time. That's conflict. That's real conflict and resolution and, purposeful, agreed upon conflict. Regular, back and forth insult. Wouldn't it be better to figure out what you agree and disagree on and why and talk? Like, why can't we all figure out how to do that? That should be a discipline you learn at an early age. Most of the issues that people have, if the person comes at you insulting and aggressive, either that person is ignorant or they're playing a game, okay? And the game is to get your emotions up, to get you reactive, and to be reacting to them instead of acting. The game is like if someone's hyper aggressive in a fight, the game is to put you on the defensive so that they don't, like, the best defense is a good offense. You learn that early on in fighting. So you learn that you can be very offensive and then the person never has a chance to get their game going. That's the case with conversations too. So there's a gamesmanship to this kind of communication where it's not just communicating. It's communicating, but it's essentially intellectual one-upsmanship and sparring. You're sparring. You're scoring points. You're trying to dunk on each other. And I get that. I've done that before. I've engaged in it. It's never satisfying. It always feels gross. Even if you win, it's gross. Like I said this before, like even like publicly things that I felt like I had to do, like the Carlos Mencia conflict that I had way back in 2007 where accused him of stealing material and it became this viral video and then a bunch of other comedians jumped in and we all agreed there was a real problem. It was a real problem because he was very famous and he was being protected by these agencies who were profiting off of him being famous. They didn't want that train to stop. I still, to this day, wonder if I would ever do that again because the negativity that came my way from people that were fans of his it's so overwhelming if you're paying attention to it. It's like, what did I open up? Like, ugh. Even though I knew it was necessary. Like what? And that is also why people are negative because they want to.
Man, Joe Rogan handled Carlos Mencia like the way that Phil Hartman should have handled his wife. You kidding me? And again, exactly to what I said when I interrupted the clip. It took his career to whole other places. He got banned from the Comedy Store. He had to go to other comedy clubs, got a little stronger, got other gigs, podcasts going, everything like that. Then came back to the Comedy Store. Everyone followed him. Boom. Stardom. Not just for him, but the whole Comedy Store hit a new gold age. It was amazing. It was amazing. Him coming back to the Comedy Store was like Trump winning the election again for comedians. Certain comedians. Not everybody was happy about it. Gotta be honest. No, Siri, I'm not talking to you. Turn off. Why is this thing always listening to me? Turn off. Jeez. Always. There's probably people at Apple right now. They're like, should we call the police? I don't know. He was talking about AI 1 second. And I don't think he's talking to anybody. I think he's talking to himself. Should we notify the authorities? We can't? Okay, I guess. But let's get into the Alec Baldwin stuff. Sometimes you got to handle business. I like how Joe thinks about it like a fight. That's how he handles his wife for sure. He's like, a good defense is a good offense. As soon as he wakes up in the morning. Out of my way, B. Move. I got to get going. I'm jumping into the ice bath. Whoo. Jumps out of the ice bath hard. I don't know if you ever seen Joe out of the ice bath. Nipples like this long. It's crazy. Huge nipples. Jumps out of the ice bath. Intimidating. Whoo. His wife is just like, Jesus. Okay. All right. I'm not going to insult him. I could say a lot about those nipples. I'm not going to, though. Let's get into the energy changes when you're standing up. I'm getting rid of this arm. I gotta be honest with you guys. I'm getting rid of the mic arm. I'm gonna be holding it like a stand-up comedian. That's what I'm doing. I gotta do it. I gotta get on stage. I gotta stay sharp. But this is the clip that Joe Rogan was talking about. And let me just preface this with, terrible to see this happen to any man. But if it's gonna happen to any man, Alec Baldwin. Oh, great. Fantastic. Great. Let's go.
The Ilaria show.
No. I think we're gonna see. We're gonna see how it feels to have it be out there.
It's gonna be great. You're a winner.
Oh my God! When I'm talking, you're not talking.
Sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why. Yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show. No, I think this is a really raw show, and it's very real, and we took a lot of chances. And I think that we'll see where it leads us. We'll see what it feels like to have be out there, and then we'll see, if people like it. That's enough.
The Ilaria show.
Here you go. This is how you know it's real. I know a lot of people be like, there's always some Poindexter in the comments. Actually, that was just a little bit that they were doing with each other. I happen to know I actually have watched Alec Baldwin on SNL many times. That there's always some Poindexter. He sounds just like that. When you see him in the comments, call him out. Anyway, this is how you know it's real.
I mean, I think this is a really no. Just cut him out of the show. No.
This right
I
here.
mean, I think this is a.
Oh, big deep breath, and I'm leaving. I'm leaving because if it was a joke, we're gonna stand together and we're gonna play off each other like Chris D'Elia and Brian Callen. You don't walk off. You let the bit keep going. Oh, wow. So into herself. Wow. Just so into herself. Wow. And then you have kids with her. Oh, and then you have kids with her. Oh, and there's nothing you can do now. There's nothing. Look, just deep breath. I'm walking away. Your wife's still talking. You can't leave. That's how it works. You can't go. You got to stand there. Oh, absolutely crazy. When I'm talking, you're not talking. That's what I'm going to say in the comments from now on. I'm going to find that Poindexter in the comments. I'm going to be like, actually, when I'm talking, you're not talking. Actually, when I'm talking, you're not talking. Okay? Oh my gosh. I couldn't imagine. I know so many married guys. I'm married myself. I could not imagine. I can't imagine that happening. My wife saying that to me. Jeez, just out of respect, you know? But again, this is something that is going on in their relationship. I'm going to find a Will Smith clip as well cuz he's just as sad in his marriage. Let's go.
It's going to be great. You're a winner.
Oh my God, when I'm talking, you're not talking.
Sorry.
No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why, yes, we'll have to just cut him out of the show. And that is called, what's the word of the day?
Manterrupting.
Manterrupting, which could be a positive, it could be a negative, or it could be a...
Correctile dysfunction.
Oh, God. Oh, correctile dysfunction. Oh, God. He for sure has his tubes tied. Oh, without a doubt, his tubes are tied. Are you kidding me?
Yes, correctile dysfunction. I think that's one of our children trying to get into the room. But, you know, the whole point is because our children are about to come in.
Oh, God. Crazy. Let me just one more time.
It could be a negative, or it could be a...
Correctile dysfunction.
Oh, that's why he hates Trump. Trump gets to call Rosie whatever he wants. He calls one of them horse face. Melania is seen and not heard. Oh, that's why he hates Trump. He's jealous. That's what it is. That's what it is, 100%. He's jealous. He's like, I wish I could call some lady horse face after we went and did the deed. I never get to call Rosie O'Donnell looking like a pig. I thought of it first. I never got to say it. Everybody applauded when he said it. Oh, God. Only thing I ever got to do was shoot some lady. I didn't even mean to do it. Not fair. Oh, man. Are you kidding me? Your wife's doing this. She's playing with you. She's bringing up the moment again. And with the girls out? Huh? You guys know what I'm talking about. And with the girls out? Oh, my God. Never me. Never. Oh, gosh. This is sad, man. This is why a lot of you guys aren't married. I try to talk to people in the comment section. I'm like, yeah, you got to find the right one. And, I was lucky, but if I can find one. This is why guys are like, shut up. Shut up, coach. I don't want to hear it, buddy. This is the reason. I understand now, gentlemen. I understand 100%. This is terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Right now, my wife's not even here. When she comes in, she doesn't even want to come in now because she doesn't want to interrupt what I'm doing. Just respect, Wow. I wish she would. I wish she would come home right now so I can ask her about this. She would start laughing if I told her about this situation. Ridiculous. With the girls out? Get out of here. Out of your mind. Anyway. Sorry for any ladies out there, but this is just facts. You know what I mean? It's craziness. Oh, somebody already beat me to it. They said same energy. That's the clip I'm going to find. Oh, my gosh. Let me tell you something about Will Smith real quick. If Will Smith got rid of that wife that he has, Will Smith would be the front runner in the Democrat Party for President of the United States of America 2028. He would come in like a wrecking ball. Everybody likes Will Smith. Before the slap, everybody liked Will Smith. No one cared. Everybody watch a Fresh Prince shows, movies. Everybody likes Bad Boys. Why not? You kidding me? This guy would be able to be the president of the United States, no problem. The Rock wouldn't even need apply. Are you kidding me? It would have been AOC and Will Smith. And of course, she would have been the vice president. Will Smith could have easily become president. But a lady will drag you down in particular circumstances. But this is the reason. A little side rant. This is the reason Alec Baldwin is actually like this.
I've seen one of the loves of her life naked.
Not the love of my life.
He was one of the loves of her life. He was a very important boyfriend of hers. And we went to go see him on Broadway, and he was naked. In his whole, as our British friends, he had his bits out. We went to go see Take Me Out, the musical that our dear friend Scott Ellis directed, and all these baseball players were in the locker room, and they were all turned around naked with their dongs hanging out. And he's there, her boyfriend, and I recognize him. I met him before. And when he turns around with his personality hanging, I'm like, oh, okay. He had like a clarinet hanging from his pants. The guy literally turns around, and we were all like, whoa.
I think you remember this more than I do.
And when you meet him backstage, we go out into the lobby, we meet them all. And her boyfriend comes in, I'm like, hey, how you doing?
And I was like, I'm going to stay over here.
And you can't pay attention to a word he's saying. He's standing right here talking to me. I'm sitting looking at him going, and he's looking at me going, yeah, you know, the show and this and that and this. And I'm like, you have like a baseball bat that you stuff into your pants every day.
You believe this, Joe? You believe this stuff? This is ridiculous, guys. It's a cock! That's why. I didn't realize. I didn't know. You kidding me? I don't even know. I don't know any of my wife's exes. Because she's my wife. That's over with. Let me tell you something. She has no exes, and she never goes to the bathroom. And if she does, it's always number one, because as far as I know, she can't number two. Okay? That's how it is. That's a good woman that I got, all right? And she's buying food right now with the baby. Okay? That's how that works. Not for Alec, though. Alec's going around seeing baseball bats hanging from dudes who used to be with your wife. Oh, man. I know by the Joe Rogan clip I played, you thought this was going to be a deeper episode, but I told you I was going to mock him. I told you, I prepared you for that. I wasn't kidding. I wasn't joking around. That's what you get. And that's why he's like this when it comes to Trump. Will Smith, Jada, cheating clip. Man, that's why he's like this. Absolutely hates Donald Trump. What is this? Is this the clip?
So, by Will's side. I decided that I was going to stay by Will's side.
Stay by Will.
This no more.
Yeah, no, I don't either.
Yeah. I'm going to get you back first, and then...
You're going to get me back. I think you've got me back. I think we're good on that, okay?
Okay, that's probably true.
But
And I don't think it's about getting anybody back.
No, for me it is.
Okay. I'll give you that petty. That's
Man, let me find the clip. I want to find the clip where they're talking about the entanglement. Maybe I should just call it into. Oh my gosh, Jesus Christ, Jesus Lord. Let me get out of here. I got to edit that part out. Jesus. I forgot I'm on X. Okay. This is sorry. Let's just run this again. Will Smith entanglement. Okay, let me just write that. I'm surprised this guy doesn't have a song called Entanglement. Look at him. He's always teary-eyed now. Good Lord. And I get it. You guys like Will Smith. Everybody does. See, that's the clip I'm looking for, where he is just upset. There, I'll switch to me for a second, because X, look, yeah, see? Naked person, of course. That's how it is. Okay, I can't find it. But basically the clip is...
You and I decided we were going to take our space, and what happened?
yeah. And then I got into an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement, an entanglement, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement, an entanglement, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August, an entanglement with August,
An entanglement, an entanglement.
an entanglement with August. I got into an entanglement with August,
An entanglement.
with August, with August, with August.
Oh, God. I didn't plan that, guys. Okay? I know I sound really white, but I'm very black. And if somebody drops a beat like that, I automatically dance. I apologize. Whew. Very, very sorry about that. Let's hope that doesn't happen again. Oh, man. The energy's different when you're standing up. Okay, guys? Oh, man. But yeah, that's sad. Very sad to see marriages go that way, I have to say. Very, very sad. But, again, couldn't happen to a worse guy, right? Alec Baldwin. There you go. And again, it goes right back to Trump. He said his revenge would be success, and it has been. In all areas, the revenge has been success. And now look at him. Best president of our lifetime, and this guy's going through this.
Great.
You're a winner. Oh my God, when I'm talking, you're not talking. No, when I'm talking, you're not talking. This is why, yes, we'll have
That little look into the camera there. Yep. That's what he deserves. Anyways, guys, I'm out.